Guys, I've been entrusted with a bike for 6 months, a long-term loaner. Now if you want to find out what it is, stick around and stay tuned. Well guys, without further ado, let's have a look what this long-term loaner looks like. Ta-da! We have the Sinis Akuma 125. Probably not a shock to some of you. Woohoo! Let's go, baby! Yeah! 125 life! Love it! Oh guys, it's like being back on a familiar friend. The Sinis Akuma 125. Now I can't actually express how excited I am to have this bike for 6 months. And yeah, a 125, you know, they're not the sexy, big, powerful litre sports bikes. And they actually often get lesser views on my channel, but to be quite honest, that doesn't bother me. I'm old enough and stupid enough to post what I want to post, do what I want to do. Of course, your feedback is super important to me, but I love ripping around on little 125s, so if I like it, I'm going to post more of it. Yeah, so 6 months of the Sinis Akuma 125. What am I going to do with it? Well, I actually have a fair few plans. Oh, what a cracking day. Lovely day in October. Weather's great, bit chilly, we can handle that though. I'm definitely going to have to get used to the chilliness if I'm going to be riding this bad boy throughout winter. And that actually leads me on to something which in my eyes is quite important. Now some of you may or may not be aware, but Sinis is a UK brand. The brand Sinis is based in the UK. However, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that the parts on a Sinis will be Chinese. And I'm intending to really utilise my time well with this loan bike. Chinese bikes get a super bad rap when it comes to the quality of them. Now you hear a lot of things, you get a lot of comments, oh the build quality is terrible on Chinese bikes, it falls to bits. Yeah, you might save money initially when you buy the bike, but you'll have to spend a lot of money getting the problems corrected that arise from Chinese bikes. There is a massive stigma around them. Well, I'm going to put it to the test. This partnership with Sinis extends over 6 months, which means I should have this bike through the gnarliest, coldest depths of the UK winter. And oh boy, do I intend to ride it. So my plan is to run the Sinis Akuma over winter, and then at the end of the loan do a real in-depth look at the bike, its parts, and how the bike fared in general. Now I have a theory, and my theory might be wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there, or a lot of Chinese bikes that are owned by, you know, fresh off the conveyor belt riders who are learning to ride. The parents have gone, right, let's get them on the road, don't want to spend too much money, let's get this Chinese bike. And I feel like consequently, because the bikes are comparatively cheaper than say the Japanese, German, Austrian counterparts, that a lot of them are kind of bought as throwaway bikes. And by that I mean like, it's cheap, so you know, we'll ride in the winter, ride through the salt and the crap on the road, and then we'll just throw it in the garage and forget about it until we next need it. and then complaints happen when bikes start to fall apart. So I'm going to treat this bike like I'm actually, you know, really proud, and I really care about my money and don't want to just, you know, I want to take pride in having nice things. I've just got a nice Sinis to rip around on for 6 months. Why would I not take care of it? So basically what I'm getting at, because I'm rambling as I do, is I am putting the Sinis Akuma 125 to the test to see if it can stand up through a harsh British winter. So I'm currently in the process of riding to a nice destination, and I haven't cleaned this bike. I've literally just jumped on it. I'm going to do a quality report. We're going to have an in-depth look at the bike, see what the quality is starting off, and then we're going to do a summarising video at the end of the 6 months, just to cross-reference it and compare it to the footage that I've taken today, and we'll see if it stood the test of time. So that, guys, is one of my main plans with the Sinis Akuma. I do have a few other plans. I'd like to do quite a big trip on one. I'd like to do a nice solo camp on one. It might be a bit difficult because there's not much carrying space. So yeah, maybe a wild camp somewhere. I think that'd be pretty cool. Maybe in the depths of winter for a little bit of added spice. Ugh. I'm just hoping to hopefully do some cool adventures on it. So I'm thinking about potentially speaking with my channel sponsor Data Tool, seeing if they can put a tracker on the Sinis Akuma, and then I can accurately track my trip to maybe Scotland or wherever I end up. The reason being is I won't be taking motorways, so I can imagine that the tracking of the vehicle on the map will very much look like this, instead of straight up a motorway. And it would be quite nice to remember and document kind of the twisty roads that I actually take. So hopefully Data Tool will be on board for that, which I'm sure they will be because they're very helpful. But yeah, I think that might be good, and also it gives me a little bit of peace of mind because, you know, travelling on away from home on my own, maybe, probably. So it's just a bit of peace of mind to have a tracker, a Data Tool Stealth S5 on there, and then if any scallywags get it, then I've got hopefully a 96% chance of getting it back. And I'm sure Sinis and Bikeshare, who have insured me on this bike, will be very happy about that. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? So whilst I'm on the topic of Data Tool, you guys know that I run an affiliate code. So if you are interested in a Data Tool Stealth S5 tracker, on Google, if you type in Data Tool space Usernamekate, it'll bring you to a landing page, which is also in my video description. If you click on that and you type the code Usernamekate in all capital letters, you will save £50 on the unit. Now, it is only available to people in the UK, I'm afraid, so if you're watching my channel from further afield, sorry guys, can't help you there. Right, I need to stop harping on, find a place to pull up and assess the current state of this Sinis Akuma. Okay, here she is. I haven't even cleaned her or anything. I've literally just got her straight out of the garage and we're going to have a look. So, what have we got here? So we've got the front, condition of the bolts and stuff at the moment. It's looking pretty good, pretty good. No dramas there. Headlight looks fine. So if we pan down here, right, let's have a look at the bolts. So the bolts so far don't look too bad. Like, these aren't furry or anything, which is good. Same with the calipers. They're not looking too bad. Now I am gonna go home and ACF 50 this bike when the time comes, and WD-40 it and all that jazz, just to basically try and keep it in optimum condition quality wise. So again, we've got, shit, why would I touch that? It's literally, I've just been riding it, what a gimp. Here we've got like mud, but it is mud, it isn't rust, which is great. The exhaust looks typically like an exhaust. They do catch all the crud at the bottom, as if I just touched that engine. What an absolute amateur. If we have a look in here, again, the bolts aren't furry. The metal's looking pretty good. If we have a look here, we've got some foot scuffage, and we've got a bit of exposed sort of, it's gone through there, so keep an eye on that. Make sure we don't make it work. Don't mind me, bud. Yeah, so a bit of scuffage there, but we'll keep an eye on that. Let's have a look here. Again, on the exhaust you've got some boot marks, but for a press bike that is to be expected. And then we've got the exhaust here. If we have a look at these, everything is looking not too bad. We've got a bit of rustage there, so I'll keep an eye on that, see what I can do with it. So again, this is all looking pretty grand. So if we just pan back to the engine up here, it's all looking pretty clean. Frame, non-structural, everything's looking good. Same with things like these little bolts here. We pan around. That's so cool. What a legend. Okay, so if we have a look on this side, this is a little bit furry, can't lie. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. These are okay. That's okay. The shock, again, not in bad nick. It's not shocking. If we look here, again we've got scuffage from boots and stuff like that, so I'll keep an eye on that. This still got some protective plastic covering on. These are all good. Engine on this side, it's dirty but it's not problematic. The bolts don't look in bad nick, so it's all looking pretty good there. We have a look at the forks, we've got no pitting at the moment, nothing like that. Wheels are in good nick. Obviously it needs a clean, but I don't think it's doing too bad, saying as I've just whacked the camera out, not trying to hide anything. The tank needs a good clean. There is a scratch there on the tank, so but that's down to human error and not weather conditions. Everything looks alright here. Bolts are good. Again, bolts are good. Have a look at the bar ends. They're not furry. And the levers, let's have a look. It all looks pretty good to me. Right guys, I hope that condition report was in-depth enough for you. We'll do a quality inspection before the bike goes back and we'll see how the bike has stood up to the test of winter. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully you're interested to see how the bike performs. If you have any suggestions about what you want to see me doing with this bike whilst I have it for the 6 months, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that. And until next time, take care and ride safe. Bye!